60 games in one, 30 games in one collection. Now this is a collection of 2 games in one. On the thumbnails you can see the 2 titles, 30 games in one and 30 games in one volume 1. Okay, what? You can't have a volume 1 with 2 games. The research I did, yes, I actually took the time to unravel this insanity. It looks like volume 1 is the first one, and the one without the volume moniker is volume 2. Now, you might notice my voice is a little off. It's because I've had a cold. And I'm sorry, my voice is cracking a little. I'm trying to get over it. When you hear a company boast 60 games in one, you're probably thinking, oh, this is another one of those titles that reuses games, or just tweaks them a little to increase the game total. I'm looking at you, Advent Calendar. Well, they actually don't do that. This is truly 60 different games. However, depending on the game that you're playing, you will have to unlock most of them, or at least half of them. And that is bullshit. Now, when I do these collections, I usually talk about the games in the order that I like them, from best to worst. But this is 60 games. I'm not going to do that because nobody wants that, including me. Volume 1 was the better one of these 2 games. For one reason alone. Half of these games were unlocked from the start without having to do anything. You just go around a wheel finding the games you want to play. They clearly explain what the controls are, what the goals are, and they even give you tips. They also give you this before you go into the games, but it was nice to see it concisely put on the main screen. It wasn't too hard to unlock games. As you play the games, you're going to get ranked up, and getting those ranks will unlock those games. But in the last few games, you're going to need to grind a little in order to get them open. The other one, which I'm just going to call Volume 2, saw the way they set up the previous game and said, what if we made it much worse? Gone is the good information that you have on the main screen. Now they show you pointless top scores. Worse yet, you only have 5 of the 30 games unlocked, and they require you to play all the games in that island and get good scores in them in order to unlock the next island. It was so tedious. I just don't understand what they were thinking. People want to play these games. They don't want to have to go through hoops to do it. Don't force replayability on people. If your game is good, they're going to want to replay it. And those last 2 islands are such a pain to unlock. Why do we have to earn the right to play the games that we paid for? Now, the quality of these games were okay. Some of them last a minute or even longer. Now, some of the games can be played with 2 to 4 players. It all depends on the game. Now, I only tried this by myself because nobody wanted to play this with me. 60 games in one's biggest problem is locking over half of the games behind gameplay walls. I will say it again, don't force your players to play games they don't want to just because you think they're fun. Let them find that it's fun on their own. I don't know whose stupid idea it was to lock up most of the games on the second title, as they didn't do that in the first game. Honestly, I would have expected it the other way around. The 60 game in one collection is normally $39.99, and I would just say skip it. And only get the first one if you're interested, and only on a sale. I use a buy sale or skip scoring system, but I do have a hidden scoring point system that I use to put it in those categories. And the stupid decision to lock the games lowered the points enough to put it in the skipped category. If you're looking for a good minigame collection, just buy Clubhouse games. You might see some of the games that they have in this title in that game as well. But if you want to buy them separately, of the 2 games, the first one is less obnoxious. Half of the games were ready to go right away, and it's only $14.99. Still wait for it to go on sale.